Welcome to my podcast. My name is Barbara Radzavikas and I'm Bondi Crafter. In this episode, it is a quilting episode. So I'm hand quilting my Drunkards Path quilt today. Lap quilting, big stitch, slow, meditative stitching. I hope you'll join me and have a look, and I hope it gives some ideas on fabrics, colours, quilting. Quilting is the best. My crafting friends, today I thought I'd do a bit more to my Drunkards Path quilt. I'm lap quilting, and because I'm laid up with my sore foot, well, remember I kicked my toe over there on the metal chair leg, which is very painful. Hoping it will go away soon, but yeah. So this is what I'm doing. I've put sticky tape on this circle up to here. I'm going very well with it because I've done a fair few of the circles. We'll get to have a look at that a bit more closer. But for now, this is the big stitching I'm doing. And it's pretty relaxing. It's very relaxing actually. And so I'm just sewing here today. And the temperature's warming up. We're going into summer. So I want to get this quilt finished before, well, in 2 weeks when summer kicks in. So going to do my best, do my level best. I've decided I'm going to hand quilt all the circles with the sticky tape, and then I'm going to go around the edges of the blocks. I might do more filling in. I'm not sure. We'll see how we go. This is a little quilt, so it won't take me that long. I think it's about a 60 by 60 inch square. I'm not really sure at the moment. I haven't taken up this hand quilting for a few weeks as I've been knitting. And so yeah, it is so lovely, so relaxing. The fabrics I've used in this, I wanted to have all the outside of the circles of the Drunkards Path in black and white with some colours, and I wanted it to be so the Drunkards Path forms circles. So you can have it in any configuration that you like, really. The Drunkards Path, it's so adaptable. But I wanted circles for this quilt, and I think it is lovely. The fabrics, I collect novelty prints, so the black and whites are small novelties, the Tour of France. And the coloured fabrics vary. A lot of them are K Facet. So or K Facet Collective actually, because there's Philip Jacobs who does the big florals, beautiful roses. I love the roses. I think that's one of my favorites of his prints. The roses are just beautiful. I ran out of the roses fabric because I only buy a small amount each time, and because I loved it so much and it went with everything, I decided to buy another meter, and then I used all that and I bought another 2 meters, I think, and I won't buy any more because I will have too many roses. Like, can you have too many roses? So yeah, so it's coming along, and you know, it doesn't take that long really, and I do big stitches because I'm quilting in my lap, so you can see how I'm sitting in a comfy chair with my sore foot up, so it's forming a lap, and my other knee is up. So I have sort of a quilting frame in my lap. This is such an easy way to do it. It's just like, you know, doing it is needlework, but you know how you sew up the hem of your dress, or you can do it in your lap. So yeah. So we'll have a closer look.
Turn it off.
Continuing on, John's helping me today with the camera because of my foot. I can't jump up and down, and I've got my tripod out, so hopefully it will, instead of having my video in reverse, you'll be able to see me quilting straight on. You see I'm a left-handed person. I put the pins in the center of the sticky tape just to hold, you know, just to give it a bit more togetherness, structure, while I quilt. So, and I take, you know, you can load the needle up with as many dips and dives as you like. If you come to a seam, it's probably, you know, it's easy just to take a couple of stitches, because pulling the cotton through it can be a bit hard. The cotton I'm using is Pearl Cottons, number 12 and number 8. Number 8s are my favorite because they come in the most delicious colors. At the moment I'm using the variegated red. It's so beautiful. This is beautiful too. Some of the cottons I've had for years, and they're just my favorites, you know. So I could quilt the whole circle in the one color, but seeing that I've got a nice collection of different colors, I sometimes, you know, just swap around. I also love my little scissors that Judith got me. They're Matilda's own. They're beautiful, and they've got this, they're spring loaded, so they're perfect for, you know, right or left-handed. I hold them like this with my thumb through here and just one finger and the other 2 fingers, giving that a bit of leverage because my first finger is frozen from arthritis. But, you know, everything still works, so that's good. I'm hoping, you know, that you quilters out there will try big stitch quilting if you haven't already. I know some of you already do big stitch quilting. It's very relaxing. You don't have to have a whole lot of little stitches, and it's impossible to have you know, very tiny stitches. Just going to turn it. Very tiny stitches if you use pearl cottons, because pearl cottons just by their nature are thicker than quilting thread, but I use them as quilting thread. I love the colours. I love the thickness and the definition that the pearl cotton gives to the fabric. When I'm machine quilting, I also love the machine quilting, and I've noticed that some people put 2 layers of batting, you know, to give more definition to the machine quilting. I don't know how it would go with hand quilting. I haven't tried it. I probably never will. But it is, you know, something that gives beautiful loft to the stitches, especially intricate cables and such. Machine quilting. If I was to do cables and things hand quilting, I would have to stencil it somehow onto the fabric, and then it would take a lot of time. This is why I do mainly straight lines. I also like doing curved circles, I must say. And when I was first starting to quilt, I had plastic templates for quilting, and they worked well too, but they were I had to use, you know, washout pens, and I'm not too keen on the washout when you have to wet your fabric and wet your quilt to erase the lines. But, you know, people do, and it's up to anyone what you do. Nothing is wrong, really. We're all just having a relaxing time. It's like meditation, you know. We're just doing what makes us happy, feeling beautiful fabrics and seeing the beautiful patterns that we can make. So, ready to turn again. Okay. Thanks. I'm coming to the end of the tape, so I'm going to take this piece of tape out so you can see the beautiful definition. I'm going to do the last row. Sometimes I can fit in an extra row of stitching on the edge. This time I can. When I come to the end of the row, I just put the needle under, and it just goes, you know, under the row, comes up wherever I want it. So, I love quilting. This was my first love, I think. I took it up when I was 19. I was sick in bed, and I had a copy of one of the women's magazines that come out here in Australia weekly. It was called the Australian Women's Weekly, and they had a craft section, and in it was a hexagon quilt. I've shown this first inspiration that I got in an early podcast about my workbook, and you might like to have a look at that. To end off, I just go to the back, take a back stitch, do a loop, go through it, give a little tug, then I go under about an inch with the thread, give a little tug so the knot goes in, and cut it straight with a thing. And that's how it looks. When it's washed, everything evens out, you know. Now I will start again over here a bit more. I'll take that last row out because I don't like to leave the sticky tape in too long, although I have left it in, you know, a couple of weeks. Take out those pins. I haven't got my pin cushion, so I'm sticking it in the couch. So going to start again, and I'm going to do, I've done the yellow already, so I will do these last 2 quadrants. just, so I put my needle in about 1/2 inch this time, do a back stitch, give a little tug, and then start off again. These K Facet Collective fabrics are so bright and beautiful and happy, you know. This is a happy quilt. I don't know if there's any sad quilts, but this is a happy, very happy quilt. I don't think there's one that I really don't like in the Facet Collective. I have a couple of favourites. One's the Roses, Philip Jacobs. I love Kaif's, most of Kaif's colour work. Well, all of his colour work really is a genius. And Brandon Mobley, he does more abstract type designs, and I really love his black and white creased. I bought like 4 meters of it, and I bought a bit more. But I just loved it, and I put it in a whole lot of quilts because it was just perfect. Sometimes the pins get in the way. I have got one finger underneath when I'm sewing. I'll show you. Do it carefully. So I have my finger like this, and I have my forefinger, the middle finger, where the stitches will come where the needle will come under, and I can push it up with that. And the other fingers on each side control the fabric underneath. Sometimes when I'm hand quilting, I miss the back, and I don't think it matters. I just go through the top layer and the batting. I'm sure of that because I can feel it, but you know. So it's going along, looking beautiful. I've just completed this circle. This is how it looks. I think it only needs straight lines. My last piece of tape is coming off. And pin. That's how it looks. I still have my curved safety pins in. They're my tacking or basting. But yeah. But yeah, the stitches are pretty even. I like them. The colours and the threads are just beautiful. So yeah, we'll have a look at the whole quilt now. This is my granddaughter Audrey's bear that stays at my place while when she comes to visit, he stays with her. So this is Little Kaif. Little Kaif is partly from K Facet because we have a lot of K Facet fabrics, and partly from a story about a little boy called Kaif who lived in Egypt. He was about 10 years old, I think, and such a lovely story. But Little Kaif, the pattern was a charity bear sew along. I made must have been about 20 bears. I sent them to the US unstuffed. So I constructed the whole bear, and the charity stuffed them when they got them. They also provided a special label, and it was for children with unique genetic birth things wrong with them. So it's such a fabulous charity that I thought I would like to do on a children's charity, and the bears turned out so beautiful. That's Little Cave. Little Cave is a special friend for Ords. This is the size of the quilt. This is how it looks when it's finished. Each block is 10 inches, so it is 50-inch square. Yes, 50-inch square. The pattern is called Drunkards Path. Each block is different, but each block has the same border. So all different borders, but same fabric. Beautiful roses. Love the butterflies. It's one I was just working on. Love the geraniums. So yes, this is the size of the quilt. It's very beautiful. The colours with black is just perfect, in my opinion. The binding I make myself. It is 2.5-inch strip of AK facet fabric. I think I've joined a few fabrics, short pieces together to make the binding. I machine stitched the binding on. My mitered corners. They look mitered, you know, from a distance, so excellent. So to sew this particular binding on my way, I first attach it to the front, and then I turn the quilt over and machine the back of the binding on. Sometimes I do hand whip stitch the back of the binding, but mostly I'm in, you know, such a hurry to get it finished because there are so many projects I want to do. And so I think the binding, you know, is beautiful. I put the binding on before I quilt. I've done this. I do this in most of my quilts now, all of my quilts, I would say. So the process is very easy. First, I have the top and the batting and the back, and I pin them together with the curved safety pins. And around the edge, I use the straight pins just on the edge, and I machine stitch around the edge 1/4 inch in, with the binding, and I trim it so that it's 1/4 of an inch perfect. I do like the binding to be very even, so 1/4 of an inch. Then I turn it over, and because it's a fold, it's already folded under, so then I machine stitch the back of the binding, and it comes out like this on the front. So I always hope that, you know, that it looks okay. I've done it with black thread. I only use black or white thread in my sewing machine. That's just me. But yeah, that's how it looks. The mitered corners are easy to do. And I like putting the binding on before I finish the quilting. It holds everything together. The curved pins are very handy because they act as the tacking. I can do it on the table. I don't have to get it on the floor anymore. And this is how I make a quilt. A hand-pieced lap quilt. Yeah, nearly finished. If you like my quilting episodes, please leave a comment in the description box below if you like more quilting episodes or more knitting episodes, or both. I like doing both, but if you'd like more quilting episodes, please leave a comment and I definitely will do that. Please like and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you so much.